I finished my schooling in Kisumu in Kenya and came here in 1958. When I left Kenya, there was very limited in terms of educational establishment. Kisumu, where I come from, small town, a population of no more than about 3,000-4,000 people, a mixed community. We didn't have a higher educational college or a school there, so it was open to us to either go to Nairobi or to go to places like either India or England. And I came here to study A-level to start with the hope of doing medicine. Medicine, again, in those days was not quite easy because coming from Kenya, you had to go through a filter mechanism, if you like, where they will tell you where you can go, what you can do and what you can't do within limitations. So I couldn't get admission into any of the medical schools, so I had to try out of London, and the place that I eventually got admitted or got an admission was at Newcastle University. By that time I had already done 3 months in pharmacy. I decided, because I had financial support from my parents for myself, and subsequently 2 or 3 years after that my younger brother was also in the line for further studies. This is why by 1960 December I thought, well, I better concentrate on what I was studying, which is pharmacy, because after 6-8 months I'll be only 2 more years left, and that will give chance to my younger brother who followed me in 1962. Kenya, as you know, is a lovely country, nice, good, warm weather, and a lot of activities are outdoor activities, especially in the evening and the weekends. In England, I found complete contrast in terms of the weather, of course, and initially it was boring to the extent that Saturday's afternoon was fine, evening you will have the entertainments, but Sunday was the most boring day, to the extent that you can go out, but you can't buy anything. I remember the only thing one can buy at that time was either newspaper or Sunday newspaper, and the only other food product one can buy will be baby milk between the hours of 10 and 11 at the newsagent or something like that. So that I found life very, very boring, to the extent that initially when I came here, if I felt if I had a return ticket, I would have returned back straight away. In the social activities within the college, which was the Pharmacy Students Association, the Students' Union itself, and we used to have an annual fundraising event called the Students' Reg Appeal. One of them was, in those days, this was 1963, the Beatles. Now the Beatles were getting onto the popularity scale just about at that time, and that would have cost me £25 to have that function for one night. And silly me thought, well, it's another pop group, so I cancelled their contract, and instead I had people like Kenny Ball, Johnny Dankworth, Cleo Land, and that sort of functions. And when I came back from Africa after 3 months holidays, I found the Beatles had just about gone to the moon. I moved into Kingston in 1973, having bought a tiny little business which is on a parade, which was a very old established business. The business was, I could see when I saw the books that the potential was there. I'm glad that I came to Kingston, because Kingston to me still is like my home. Having come into business, I came across some very good people who introduced me to the round table. They were within the vicinity of my business. It was like a small community, if you like. There was the baker, butcher, banker, and small businesses. And in those days, Rotary was a gathering of people of different profession. And I was fortunate being invited as a pharmacist to join this profession. And I met some wonderful people in Kingston who have been a great help to me and my family in Kingston throughout.